The world's governing body for football, FIFA, is running out of patience with the de facto leadership of the TTFA and has set a deadline of September 16th for the withdrawal of the matter at the TNT High Court. According to Ruskin Mark, failure to do so by the TTFA will see the imposition of sanctions on local football, which could further set back the sport locally.
Things are getting serious now as FIFA is threatening to impose sanctions on this country's football if the embattled William Wallace, executive of the TTFA, does not withdraw its High Court matter. In a letter sent to Robert Haddad, the chairman of the Normalization Committee implemented by FIFA, the world's governing body says that the TTFA must withdraw the matter from the High Court and return to the Court of Arbitration for Sport as laid out in Articles 59 and 57, paragraph 1 of the FIFA statutes as the place for settling such matters. FIFA gave the TTFA until September 16th at the latest, and a failure to comply will see the imposition of sanctions on either Wallace and his executive or local football or both, depending on how FIFA views the seriousness of the matter. The question remains, however, is how does the United TTFA group view this latest FIFA salvo?
We had a discussion with our lawyers last night, and the thinking is that the effort of FIFA to intimidate and to threaten an opponent during a judicial process is contempt of court, perversion of justice, and in layman and street terms, just plain bullying tactics.
A FIFA sanction on local football could adversely affect TNT players and clubs and is seen as a death knell for a small country like ours. But Lucloy has a unique spin on such a development.
So there's a lot of dis and misinformation that players need caps to play abroad. You don't need a cap to go and play in El Salvador or India, which is where we're sending players today. Because while we were able to play, while we were not suspended, our position in the FIFA rankings collapsed from the 40s into 106. And therefore, no player in Trinidad and Tobago can get into the top leagues where we once had them in the very 2006 that you mentioned.
The letter was signed by FIFA's General Secretary, Fatma Samura, who had earlier pointed to sanctions in the face of continued TTFA resistance and frowned at the TTFA's invitation at arbitration as a means to resolve the dispute, leaving local football in even more of a limbo over the next 3 weeks. Ruskin Mark, TTT Sports.